More than 1,400 flights across the United States already cancelled today, and despite signs the shutdown could soon end, the Federal Aviation Authority is set to increase cuts to 6% of flights at 40 major airports. If the shutdown doesn't end by Friday, that number goes up to 10%. All this as air traffic controllers are missing a second paycheck this week. CNN's Gloria Pazmino is at Newark Liberty International Airport in New Jersey. Great to have you with us, Gloria. What are you seeing on the ground?
Well, Eleni, we've talked to some travelers here today who have come prepared. They know that the prospect for cancellations is a possibility. So some of them are showing up to the airport early, and they're also coming prepared. Many of them told us that they had actually rearranged their travel plans, knowing that travel cancellations are likely to get worse later in the week. Now, even as the end of the government shutdown appears to be near after the vote that took place on Monday night, this is still going to continue because there is a mandatory emergency order by the FAA to scale down flights across 40 major U.S. airports. Now, that scaling down is beginning at a 6% today, and that's going to grow as the week goes on, eventually to 10% on Friday. So I spoke to some people who told me that because of that, they actually moved their plans up so that they could get out to where they are going on time. Take a listen to some of the travelers who spoke here today. Many of them pretty patient, considering that some of their plans had to change last minute. Any sort of issues so far with your flight?
So far, no, today, but I understand that tomorrow there's going to be another bunch that gets notified for the next couple of days. So our return flight is up for grabs. I have no idea.
They let us move it to an earlier flight. So we feel like so far everything's saying it's on time. We're hopeful.
Some of the passengers we spoke to here today also said that the airlines have been pretty good about notifying people ahead of time so that they're not showing up to the airport, not knowing whether or not their flight is going to take off. And what we're seeing here is that is helping things move along, right? There are not very long lines here. Security is moving well. So we're not seeing sort of a chaotic scene here at the airport because people are in communication with their airlines. As far as the cancellation picture across the country right now, there's more than 1,100 cancellations so far, more than 500 delays. And here at Newark Airport in New Jersey, which is, of course, a major travel hub, there are 62 cancellations as of this hour. And one last point, Eleni, that I thought was significant and interesting is that many of the international travelers that we spoke to here today told us they've had no issues. We know that some of the airlines are prioritizing international travel and trying to cancel the flights that are smaller, going to regional airports, so that those major routes are not disrupted.
A major breakthrough in the Senate as the chamber approved a funding bill that could end what is now the longest government shutdown in history. It now heads to the House and must be approved there before it lands on President Donald Trump's desk for a signature. Here's what's in the deal. It's a stopgap measure to fund the government through January 30th. SNAP benefits will be paid through fiscal year 2026. Federal workers fired during the shutdown will be reinstated, and no more mass firings will take place through January. Ahead of the Senate's vote, Trump said he supported the plan.
Based on everything I'm hearing, they haven't changed anything, and we have support from enough Democrats, and we're going to be opening up our country. It's too bad it was closed, but we'll be opening up our country very quickly. I'll abide by the deal. The deal is very good.
Now, the deal does not do what Democrats have repeatedly pushed for throughout this process: extend the enhanced Obamacare subsidies set to expire at the end of the year. It does promise a future Senate vote on it, but the House has not committed to taking it up. The shutdown continues to be politically painful for members of both parties. Republicans have repeatedly shouldered the blame for the lapse in funding in recent polling, and this deal, struck by Democratic centrists in the Senate, has ignited a fight within the party about its strategy going forward. At the White House, I'm Julia Benbrook.
Peanut butter. They love their peanut butter.
At this Los Angeles food bank, they've seen a surge in people coming for free food since the government shutdown began on October 1st.
They just don't have the money, and they need it. They need to feed their kids.
Roughly 42 million Americans receive food stamps to help pay for groceries through the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program known as SNAP. But because of the shutdown, many November payments were not sent.
It's just not easy at all.
Even when the government opens back up, it's unclear when SNAP recipients like Chantil Manuel will get their benefits. The Department of Agriculture has to send the funds to each state, and the states then have to process it. Furloughed workers may also feel the financial burden for a while. More than 1 million federal employees have gone without pay during the shutdown. Personal finance columnist Jean Chatzky says those workers should contact their mortgage or car lenders if they're worried about missing payments.
Many of these places have skip-a-pay programs or other forms of relief where they'll actually work with you.
And air travel could still be impacted even after the shutdown ends. The FAA has had to gradually reduce air traffic because airports and air traffic controls across the country don't have enough staff to operate. It's caused mass flight delays and cancellations. But even before the shutdown began, there was a shortage of air traffic controllers.
I used to have about 4 controllers retire a day before the shutdown. I'm now up to 15 to 20 a day are retiring.
Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy warns passengers may still see delays and cancellations even after the government opens back up. For Consumer Watch, I'm Jen Sullivan.
Until a deal to end the federal government shutdown is inked, airlines must continue to follow the FAA's emergency order to incrementally reduce flight capacity at 40 major U.S. airports, rising to 10% by Friday.
We were scared that it was going to delay like a whole day or more, but luckily it was only an hour. But hopefully this doesn't delay it more.
Tuesday, the flight cuts rose from 4 to 6%, but Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy says that percentage is actually higher.
The issue here is you saw more delays over the weekend than 4%. And we thought it's better to manage a reduction in flights, to systematically do it, to plan for it, than to let chaos ensue.
Secretary Duffy visited Central Wisconsin Airport on day 42 of a record-long government shutdown, speaking to air traffic controllers who have missed 2 paychecks.
We have some controllers who are put in a very difficult position.
He warned that even when the government shutdown ends, air travel won't resume to full capacity immediately.
I'm concerned that we're not going to have on day one controllers come back into the towers right away.
There have been at least 638 reports of short staffing since the government shutdown began on October 1st. That's more than 6 times as many as were reported on the same dates last year.
We had a 6-hour delay in Houston, and the weather was perfect. It's because the air traffic controllers aren't getting paid.
I'm Maribel Gonzalez reporting.
At SMF on Monday, passenger Ellen Davis was still thinking about her flight out when she got back.
We left Thursday to fly to for a wedding in Virginia. So from Sacramento out at 5:20 in the morning to Las Vegas. That was smooth, flawless. We got there. We were about to take off, and they stopped it and said, folks, we have to go back. It'll either be 10 minutes or 2.5 hours. So it ended up being 2.5 hours. So we got it to Reagan National 2.5 hours late.
Flight delays and cancellations are happening at airports across the U.S. as the government remains shut down.
I was a little nervous, honestly, yeah.
The FAA has reduced the number of flights in the air in an effort to ease the burden on air traffic controllers. More cancellations are expected in the coming days.
Started out in Nashville, boarded my plane on time. There was like a 15-minute delay, but not anything unusual. Landed in Kansas City, was there for a little layover. Got on my plane to here, and here I am.
While SMF is not one of the airports feeling the brunt of the impact of the shutdown, officials are still encouraging travelers to give themselves some extra time. And for flyers like Davis, she says it seems people are doing so and taking any travel challenges that may arise in stride.
I think people are in good spirits. It's almost like what choice do you have? You have to just deal with it. The point is to get there safe and get home safe, and that's what happened.